Hello, self-alignment. How are you? Okay. What are we gonna do? What is this gonna be about today? Huh? What is it gonna be about? Right. Okay. Well, now, how do we deal with situations like that? Alright, so we have a situation where you're embarrassed, you feel tricked, you feel a little humiliated, but it's something you're keeping to yourself. It's not something you're sharing with everybody. But it's one of those moments where you're like so embarrassed by your own thoughts or way of doing that you feel that. It's almost like like a hot flash for those of you who go through menopause, or for those of you who get embarrassed and you instantly heat up, when your anxiety is triggered, but you think that everybody around you knows and they don't. But it feels like it, so yeah. So yeah, you just gotta learn to laugh at yourself a little bit. Ah, okay, so maybe a situation, it didn't go how you know, you knew it would go bad, so and you're like, man, did they know it went bad? And you're embarrassed, of course, but it's all good because you want second chances in a relationship, a job, you know, maybe where you were working at, it didn't turn out like what you thought. The people weren't who they thought you thought they were. The position wasn't all that great. You need to be watching your finances. Some of you may be getting some financial means that you didn't expect. Watch your finances. Or also, for some of you, it could mean you got a certain amount, watch it because you don't want to have insufficient funds, or be greedy or overspend or buy something you don't need, or something like that. All right, how convenient. All right, so we have temperance on the board. So you need, a lot of you are going through healing, but in this one, it is saying that you need to do things with in moderation, and stay, let your choices and decisions be balanced. Do everything in divine timing. This may also represent a Sagittarius, but you can temperature test the waters of finances all day long. But if you got to do that, then you might want to leave it be before it flips and you got insufficient funds and owe out money you don't have. Ah, look, but here's one. This is funny. Okay, so the reason some of you may be, wanting to jump in that bank account and buy something is because you're aware that there is a new opportunity in your finances. Something new is being birthed. Something is in an immature stage, but it's going to bring you money. So it's like you want to hit the bank for the money that hadn't hit yet. That's crazy. So I think you probably need to go outside a little bit, plant some flowers, be careful. Oh my God. Okay. So, I understand that some of you bust your ass and work all day long and hard, and then you got to deal with children, and, you can man, kindergarten class, baseball team, cheerleading squad, do 15 things at once, pay all the bills, and clean too while you're paying a bill. And, work real hard to be that good husband or wife, that ultimate mother, father, you know, the King of Wands, boy. Just be careful because you're teetering. You're don't reverse it and start getting all crazy, like greedy and arrogant and self-centered. Don't get cocky, I'm saying. All right, so let's move this over here a little bit. 1, 2, 3. How did that get? That's not supposed to be like that. Wait, that's supposed to be over here. Okay. Move this over a little bit. I'm just trying to make sure I have enough room. Even these cards are little, there's still ain't enough room. there's enough room. I'm just saying. Okay. I like these little cards. So I just really love that shitty grin that King of Wands right there has. So that definitely tells me we are talking about a Sagittarius who has an attitude of a Leo. Don't let me find out. Let me find out. Let me find out. Okay. So this person has newfound energy where money's concerned. Like, I don't know, they're like self-sufficient and very independent, and they're just getting, it's hard not to feel kind of cocky when you're doing good. That means you need to level out how your emotions and your minds, there's a little bit of an imbalance. So so the reason I say that there's a little bit of an imbalance is that's what this card is about. There's an imbalance, but it's not an imbalance that you can't fix. It's not really an imbalance, but it could be. But because you're teetering on, oh my God, something awesome's happened, and you're trying to not be cocky about it, and you're trying to not take credit before the money hits. You're trying to be careful, I know, trust me, I know how hard it is. I know. Oh, God, here's this card again. So, okay, so this person spends a lot of time overthinking, especially where their money's concerned. They're really money focused. I almost want to say this person is using it as a distraction because of this. He or she doesn't want to laugh at themselves, so they're trying to distract themselves because it's emotional and they really don't like dealing with emotions. So they're steadily overthinking everything because they don't want to handle the emotions. They don't want to say, hey, this is how I feel. Because then it'll be real and then it'll be open for damage. And so why not self-sabotage it? See, they're overthinking. So they're sitting here and they're crossing the T. They're crossing the I's. They probably have already used a couple of sheets of paper by now. But they don't get much sleep. They're up late hours. They spend a lot of time on it. It's like a whole 8-hour day at night. So they don't get a lot of sleep, is what I'm trying to say. All right. Let's see what else we got. All right. So because they sit up and they overthink, they keep coming up with all these ideas. And so now that they're considering their options, like which one, okay, I know that I want to do it, but how should I go about it? When should I do it? What should I say? And then they'll back and forth, back and forth. So they're rolling around in circles constantly. And then they're getting frustrated. And they're having to laugh at themselves because they're frustrated because they're knowing what they're doing. Okay. So this may this person has questions that they need answering. They may it may be about spiritual reasons. It may be about romantic reasons. It may be about childhood reasons. It could be about legal reasons. It could be just them seeking knowledge. That they could be just learning new things, trying to figure out why things tick, why this works, why that works. This may also be associated to the sign of Taurus. Whew. All right, so we are definitely talking about a whole full-blown Sagittarius. Just saying. Okay, flutterbug. That's what I'm gonna start calling Sagittarius. Flutterbug. All right, so this person is okay. By nature, this person is able to be a player, and they are great at it and sexy as hell. Why would I say that? Okay, there's this guy I know, he could have been a player, but it's hot. Why? Because he's growing out of it. Holy crap. Go you. Anyway, so all of it, just young. He's always this Sagittarius person is young at heart, always. Look, my blood pressure's getting high. Shit. Anyway, so the Sagittarius person is just on it, very fast, everywhere, can do so much, and just always constantly going, can't even be still. I don't even think he sits still when he's in a car. No, something's always moving. His mouth, his eyes, something. They're never still. Anyway, so this person, he brings about change and enthusiasm. It don't matter. This dude could be 59,000 years old. Gonna be young at heart always. Full of compassion, love, maybe moving to a new home. Yeah, because he's embarrassed and humiliated by a bunch of stuff, like that he can't change, that he doesn't want to be a part of. But, yeah, his concern is win. Ooh. All right, so there has been a delay in his moving due to some conflict, drama, some kind of crap, situations. Someone's trying to stab him in the back, being a problem, a lot of mental things going on. Somebody around him may feel he stabbed them in the back and maybe potentially causing them trouble because of that, trying to get them not to go. Yeah, they're being self-centered. He's dealing with a third-party person who just won't leave it alone, let it go, move on. Even though they've moved on, they just won't let it go. So they're about to be the magician and communicate how much they want them to fuck off, and they're really beyond caring about feelings because they're starting to realize, what about my feelings? This person is a very strong communicator also. The number 37 may mean something. The number 13. The number 28. 78. 83. 33. 37. All right, if you would like to book a reading with me, please send me a message at soulfulalignment73@gmail.com, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Yep. Love, light, peace. Jelly bean.